Okay, welcome back to the channel. It is October the 6th of 2023, and I didn't expect to do a video. This is not going to be an audio. This is not going to be uh, on the same as the other format because tonight I came across several different things that all sort of came together for me. Um, Dealing primarily with alcoholism, alcoholics, female alcoholic, but which of course I have quite a bit of experience with. But what I wanted to emphasize was in scrolling through YouTube, YouTube has a way of giving you more of what it is you're asking for, whether or not you're asking for it or not. But what happened was an interview with Gregg Allman, and Dan Rather came up. And in the interview, I only saw a 6-minute clip. In that 6-minute clip, he talked about the cirrhosis of the liver and cancer of the liver and how he ultimately stopped drinking and using drugs, very similar to the way I did it. It was kind of like on my own, cold turkey. Actually, I shouldn't say on my own. I had help. I had actually a lot of help. I had the help of Dr. Sergey Shaginyan. Not sure if I said that right. He operates out of Venice, California. Actually, I should give him a little plug. The correct spelling of his name is Sergei, Sergey Shaginyan, and it's Shagin, so Shag in Yan. And his website is sergeyforhealth.com, so it's SERGEI for the number health.com. Because he has no idea I'm plugging him right now, but I met him on March 27, 2012, and after multiple decades of drug and alcohol abuse, on March 28th, 2012, I was no longer addicted to anything. And I know it sounds unbelievable or too good to be true, but it actually happened. And I actually thought he was like a shaman and turned me into one, but it was very strange. There's quite a bit of backstory on that, which I'll probably go into another time. It's actually quite interesting. It happened to me, so of course I think it's very interesting. But anyway, Dr. Sergey helped me, and then I then ran into this other website of a girl named Gennifer Shafer, and she spells her name with a G, Gennifer, Shafer, Shafer. And she started a YouTube channel, looks like in 2019, with one topic. She had end stage cirrhosis of the liver and expected to die within 6 months. Checked herself into hospice on the advice of doctors, checked herself out on her own accord, and for almost 5 years later, she's healthier, she's alive, but her story led me to think about the girlfriend. So, of course, I have multiple girlfriends with this alcohol and Xanax problem, but I'm right now just going to focus on one because this one is on a death march. And in addition to oh, that's right, that was the connection. Gregg Allman said that over a 3-year period, he drank a quart of vodka every day. That hit home because this girl drinks a quart of vodka every day. And I don't know if it's 3 years or 13 years or 30 years, but uh, her body is showing tremendous signs of wear. Uh, she's got no cellular energy, does nothing to help herself. We lived a block from the ocean in Boca Raton, Florida, and not once did she walk with me to the beach. Not once did she want to go for a swim. Not once did she want to go out, get some fresh air and some sunshine. Nothing to stimulate life, growth, or cellular health of any kind. Poor diet, and the diet consists primarily of Adderall and caffeine in the morning, no real food, and then there's either more Adderall or more caffeine. I'm not really sure, but there's 3 to 4,000 milligrams of Tylenol every day for pain, real or imagined, in her back. And you take 3,000, 4,000 milligrams of Tylenol every day and drink a quart of vodka every day, there's just no chance that you have not already harmed your liver. What I've learned about the liver, what I've learned about Xanax and alcohol is that the alcohol takes precedent from the liver trying to metabolize it, get the poison out of the system, and that causes the Xanax to stay in the system longer. So the next day, when the person starts to drink, the Xanax is still in the system, and it's just a mess. It's just a psychological, physiological mess, and of course, a person like that's only going to drag down whoever they're with, which is why no one seems to stay with her for any length of time. But that's another story. So what happened here is this girl now, Gennifer, and she doesn't even know I'm plugging her, but I'm going to put a link to her YouTube channel in the description of this. I'm also going to put the link to Dr. Sergey, and of course, Gregg Allman's already dead. And if you know that, if you've been to my channel, you see that the opening uh, video is actually music. I'm a musician, I'm a guitar player, and Gregg Allman, Dwayne Allman was, of course, my first influence. So, uh, all of this sort of came into a cocoon tonight, let's call it. So, Gennifer is now appreciating the things about her life. She expected her life to end. So, she's now appreciating the things in life that we all should be appreciating. And this is, again, not expected to go off on this tangent about the alcohol and the Xanax, of course, but it seems that a person that drinks that amount of alcohol, they are killing themselves and they know it. But ultimately, do they wake up? Do they wish that they didn't harm themselves? Do they get to the point where they want to live? I didn't see that happening in this relationship I was in. I only saw destruction. I only saw the the, the circular path to nowhere, and I only saw death and destruction coming, which is why I'm no longer in that relationship. But it doesn't mean that there isn't a hope and a desire that somewhere, somehow, that person will either pull themselves out of it or someone else will pull them. I guess no one else can pull them out of it. They have to pull themselves out of it. They have to want to get out of it. Of course, I know all that. But it's just a shame that this is the path of toxicity. And I don't know which came first. What comes first? The alcoholic, the narcissist? Does the narcissism fuel the alcoholism? Does the alcoholism fuel the narcissism? I mean, it's all very confusing. One thing we do know is that these toxic people cannot help us. Okay, they can only harm us. They can only prevent us from fulfilling whatever it is that we're supposed to do next, whatever that is. It doesn't have to be grandiose. So whatever it is that we're going to do next, we are being delayed from doing it as a result of trying to care for a toxic person. And toxic is what they are. And until they decide to detoxify themselves, they're just no use to anyone. And with that, I welcome comments. I would love to have people subscribe and for you to suggest this audio series. There is a lot more to come. As you can see, I'm starting to do these every day now because there is a lot on my mind and there is a lot to talk about. So I look forward to talking next or sometime in the upcoming uh, near future about my experience with Dr. Shaginyan. Dr. Sergey is what we call him. Dr. Sergey in one day took, let's see, I was 52, 38 years of drug and alcohol abuse gone overnight. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm 100% sober. That means I no longer have a problem with drugs or alcohol. I did go for an 18-month period from the time I saw Dr. Sergey on March 27, 2012. Went a full 18 months before I even had a sip of any alcohol. And before I did, I called him and asked him if it was okay. And his answer was quite amusing. He said to me, I didn't say you had a problem with alcohol. He said, you said you had a problem with alcohol. I was like, oh. I said, so what do you suggest? He says, well, he says, have one or two. He says, if you can't stop, give me a call. That was his answer. So I stay in touch with him, and I am still, for the most part, sober. I ride a motorcycle, so I'm not interested in alcohol. It's. I think I read a statistic that 35-40% of men over 40 who die on motorcycles were drunk. So I'm not going to be another one. Okay, so peace out. Please help me grow the channel. Like, subscribe, comment. Specifically comment. I've got a lot of good comments. I answer them all. I like the variety. Keep them coming. Thanks.